Beth Tfilah opened its doors in 1921 when a committed group of members formed the synagogue in the Forest Park neighborhood of Baltimore City. Rabbi Dr. Samuel Rosenblatt was the synagogue's founding rabbi and served in that capacity for nearly 5 decades. It was his vision to establish a school offering instruction in Jewish as well as secular subjects during regular school hours. This dream became a reality in 1941 with the opening of the first Beth Tfilah kindergarten class with 5 students at its original building on Garrison Boulevard. As part of Beth Tfilah's dedication to its youth, Beth Tfilah Camp was formed in 1943. And due to its popularity and growth, the Owings Mills campsite was purchased in 1951. By 1957, the day school's enrollment had reached 280 students through grade 6. As the number of young families moving to the suburbs increased, the congregation, under the leadership of Sam and Sidney Epstein, decided to follow them into suburbia and acquired the present Old Court campus in 1962. In 1964, the school added a junior high school in response to an interested group of parents. And in 1973, the enrollment for preschool through 8th grade had grown to 345 students. Rabbi Mitchell Wahlberg was appointed rabbi in 1978 and has continued in that capacity for the past 33 years. During that time, Beth Tfilah grew from a synagogue of 600 families to 1,350 as Rabbi Wahlberg endeared himself to so many in our community through his warmth, his humor, his synthesis of Jewish tradition with contemporary issues, and his ability to relate to young and old alike. His sermons have been lauded by the Baltimore Jewish Times, which has dubbed him Master of the Sermon, and Baltimore Magazine named him one of Baltimore's most powerful religious leaders. Rabbi Wahlberg's love of Israel has been recognized by every major Jewish organization, but perhaps none more memorable than in 1992, when he was the recipient of the ZOA Brandeis Award. It was that night when Rabbi Wahlberg's remarks in support of Israel were followed by the inimitable Larry King, whose words were never truer.
Boy, if I die, I want Wahlberg to do the funeral.
Rabbi Wahlberg's visionary leadership for Beth Tfilah began soon after his arrival when he recruited his colleague Zipporah Shore as vice principal of the school, and she became director of education soon thereafter. Under the visionary leadership of this dynamic duo, with magnificent facilities and an outstanding clergy and school faculty, Beth Tfilah experienced an unprecedented era of growth in synagogue membership, school enrollment, adult and youth programs, and community recognition. In 1986, again in response to community needs, Beth Tfilah Community High School was founded to provide a coeducational college preparatory high school with an exceptional educational program for students of all levels of religious observance. A new facility was built at Old Court, and the high school moved from temporary quarters to its new school building in 1988. The high school added new dimensions to student life at Beth Tfilah by attracting an outstanding faculty and adding new facilities and programs, including a popular interscholastic athletics program. In 2001, with a student enrollment of nearly 1,000, Beth Tfilah Community School was named a National Blue Ribbon School of Excellence and was one of 12 schools nationwide to receive an award for special emphasis in technology. Also in 2001, the school opened a new Performing Arts Center and an athletics center on its Old Court campus and staffed a new creative arts department. In 2003, Beth Tfilah Community School changed its name to Beth Tfilah Dahan Community School in tribute to Mr. Haran Dahan, one of the school founders and its most generous benefactor. In 2006, the Beth Tfilah Sanctuary underwent a complete renovation and was rededicated as the Dahan Sanctuary, again recognizing its generous benefactor. In 2007, Beth Tfilah welcomed members of the Beth Jacob congregation in an historic union that made Beth Tfilah the largest modern Orthodox congregation in America. An alternative service, dubbed the Minyan, began attracting more young couples to weekly Shabbat services. In 2009, the new lower school complex on Old Court Road was completed, enabling the entire Beth-Tefillah family to be reunited on one campus and under one roof. The campus was rededicated in 2010 to honor the name of our generous benefactors, Roz and Marvin Weiner. In June 2010, Beth-Tefillah celebrated the commencement of its 21st graduating class, along with the graduation of its 1,000th student. Beth-Tefillah graduates have an outstanding record of college acceptances and have received numerous academic honors, and have distinguished themselves as Jewish leaders on the college campus and beyond. Today, 90 years after its founding, Beth-Tefillah stands proud as a vibrant center of Jewish life in Baltimore. Through its congregation, school and camp, its Merkaz Dahan Center of Jewish Learning, and its youth center, its brotherhood and sisterhood, Beth-Tefillah continues to impact thousands of Jewish men, women, and children from a wide spectrum of religious observance, spreading the joy of Judaism and giving meaning to countless families from generation to generation.
I have always been at Beth-Tefillah. I was born into Beth-Tefillah. My parents were members from the 1920s. Matter of fact, they were married by the late Rabbi Rosenblatt. I went to Beth-Tefillah Day School, graduated from the 6th grade then, and it was the 3rd graduating class.
We're relative newcomers to Beth-Tefillah. We've only been here for 25 years.
We're the second generation of a 4-generation Beth-Tefillah family. Our parents, Ella and Alvin Cheslock and Julia and Louis Katz, were active Beth-Tefillah members, and we ourselves have been members of Beth-Tefillah for over 64 years.
Beth-Tefillah was the place that offers the education that we were looking for, the community that we were looking for, and the shul. And so finding all those things in one place, it was at first we didn't want to believe it because it's hard to, we must be missing something. You can't go back to where you grew up from. There's a whole wide world out there to choose from. But Beth-Tefillah really offered all those things.
I like the music. I am a great fan of traditional chazanut. And I have always thought Beth-Tefillah was very supportive of cantorial music when most congregations have abandoned.
Cantor Albrecht just adds a flavor to Shabbos that it's hard to describe. It's just a wonderful, wonderful feeling.
Beth-Tefillah has been a part of so many of our family simchas, which include 7 bris, 6 bar mitzvahs, 6 bat mitzvahs, and 5 weddings.
We ended up moving back to Baltimore to be close to family and friends and to be part of the Beth-Tefillah community. My husband and I now attend Rabbi Lerner's minyan on a weekly basis, and we enjoy going there for the more traditional service than what we were used to growing up, as well as seeing all of our friends every Shabbos.
We've celebrated all of our life cycle events here. We dated here, we got engaged here, we got married here, and each of our sons had their brises here, and we look forward to more life cycle events here.
I like sitting by myself when I daven, but I kept thinking how nice it would be to have a son, instead of daven with me. And so it's been a blessing now that Avi's been back. Every Shabbos he comes, sits next to me.
It was 20 years ago when we went with Rabbi Wahlberg to Israel. It was our first trip to Israel, and that alone is such a major life experience, but to go with Rabbi Wahlberg was really incredible, and it was life-changing.
Well, when Beth-Tefillah decided that it was going to have a mechitza, I was very much opposed. I told Rabbi Wahlberg that I thought the mechitza was somewhere between cholera and the bubonic plague, which he laughed, and then he said, "You are the loyal opposition."
sitting separately means that friendships are made more easily than if we were sitting with our spouses, especially with women. I don't know what happens on the men's side. But if a stranger sits next to me, I always say who I am and, you know, welcome them. And that doesn't happen when you're sitting together.
I think it was late sophomore year. I can remember sitting in the high school library when Mrs. Shore walked through the high school hallway with this cute girl in a long jean skirt and long blonde hair, and walking in with her father, and we're like, oh my gosh, who's this new kid? We had, I think, heard stories that there was going to be a new girl in our class. And it took me about a year and a half, 2 years to muster up the courage to ask her out and to become friends. And from there, we grew closer and closer, and today we live across the street and have 4 children.
Sam and Michelle got married here in the chapel, and Rabbi Wahlberg always ties in the whole family, you know, generations.
When I began wearing collars and tefillin, nobody blinked. Rabbi Wahlberg was very receptive. In fact, he came into the chapel, looked at me and said, "Looks good on you," and walked away. And that was the end of any discussion that might have taken place.
Beth Tefillah really is our family. It is an important member of our family, has been for 25 years, and Lord willing will be for many years to come. Not only ours, but our children and now our grandchildren.
So this is the newest member of Beth Tefillah and the Milliman extended family, who will hopefully be attending Beth Tefillah very soon.
What's your favorite thing about Shul, Raph?
Sheila